Hi all, I am Saurabh Soni and this is Struts 3.6 Custom Validation and Client-Side Validation. In this session, we'll see how we can write our own validator, that is custom validator, and how client-side validation is supported in Struts 2.0. Let's start hands-on. We'll use the same demo used in previous session. Open my action class. In this class, I have added a custom validator. Custom validators are designed when some validation is not supported by framework. For example, I want user to select at least one subject from our subjects checkbox list. So to do this, we have to define a method named validate with public access and void return type. Now the logic for our custom validation goes inside this method. When user select a subject, then it is added in our subjects list. So now if this list is empty, that means user have not selected any subject. So in that case, we have to raise validation error. To do so, we call add field error method. This method already exists in action support. So we can call it directly. It takes two arguments. Second argument is the message you want to show to user, and first argument takes the field name for which you want to display message. So in this case, it is our subjects. Before we execute, I want to add one more validator. Open our action class validator, that is myaction-validator.xml. For the field name, we already added require validation. But we want user to use only alphabets. So to do, we add one more struts default validator, regex, short for regular expression. Inside this, we have added param expression condition. This condition defines that name can have character between small a to small z and capital A to capital Z, and also space. Asterisk for repeat, and rest is syntax. Now let's execute the code. Fill all the correct details and don't check for any subject and submit. You can see the error message for subject. Now select one or more and submit. You got the output. Go back, give name with a number. We got the error message, as name can have only alphabets and space. So far, all the validation we have written is server-side validation. So every time user clicks submit, then request comes to server, server do the validation and return the error. But this is a very time-consuming process. So to avoid this, we go for client-side validation. In this case, all the validations are done by browser at your computer, and once the validations are satisfied, then request goes to the server. Client-side validations are generally done using JavaScript and jQuery. But Struts 2.0 framework itself provides default client-side validation. Before we do that, let's see the source code generated for our JSP. You can see that all the struts tags are converted into HTML by the framework, but we don't have any JavaScript. Look between body and form tag. Now open home page. Now to do client validation using Strut framework, all we have to do is that inside form write validate equals to true. And that's it. Now Struts framework will automatically generate JavaScript for all the corresponding server validations. Let's execute the code. View source. You can see JavaScript code added. Now we have both client as well as server validation.